Welcome to the Undisputed Podcast. I'm your host, Joy Taylor. On today's show, how will Ezekiel Elliott fare against the Seahawks on Sunday? Plus, why Lakers fans should be buzzing about the team's future. And will we ever see Floyd Mayweather fight in the octagon? Skip, Shannon, let's get to it. Let's start with the Cowboys. Ezekiel Elliott was back at practice for the first time in 6 weeks yesterday. The 8-6 Cowboys host the 8-6 Seahawks on Sunday, and both teams need to win their last two games to keep their playoff chances alive. Yesterday, Zeke was eager to get back on the field, but he didn't want to talk about how he spent his time in Cabo while he was gone. Let's take a listen.
It was great. You know, the energy was high. I missed all the guys. They missed me, and we're excited to continue the season.
Okay, you're not going to talk about the prospect. Can you talk about what you did the last 6 weeks?
No.
What about the documentary, and what message do you want to come across through the documentary?
Just watch it. Just tell me the message you get.
When's it going to come out?
I don't know.
Can you talk about at least what went into some of your conditioning?
I'm ready to talk about the Seattle Seahawks. I'm ready to talk about the Dallas Cowboys. I'm not speaking on it anymore.
Why is it that you don't want to talk about that?
All right, I'm done. Thank you. That'll be all.
Shannon, what do you make of this?
I love it. I love that he's focused on the Dallas Cowboys. I love that he's focused on the Seattle Seahawks. Trying to relive what transpired 6 weeks ago or what he's been doing is unimportant. That information is important to one people, the columns that will be written and the people that will read that. But Zeke has no interest in reliving that. How can he move forward if all you want him to do is talk about what has transpired? So I have no problem with the way Zeke handled this situation. He said he wanted to talk about Seattle. He said he wanted to talk about the Cowboys. That wasn't what they wanted to talk about. Clearly, I get Skip. You keep telling me this is America's team, and everybody wants to talk about them. Well, I guess nobody wants to talk about two underachieving teams this year that's going to play on Sunday. With
playoff possibilities.
Yeah.
Remaining.
Well, how about asking questions about the playoff? What do you need to do, Zeke? No, we want to talk about Cabo. How does Cabo help Zeke on Sunday?
So are you saying those were not legitimate, relevant questions after all the buildup about he spent 6 weeks in Cabo instead of in Europe?
That was a smoke screen,
obvious.
Skip. That was a smoke screen.
Oh,
he
you're
was
saying
never
he
going to Europe.
Oh, well, I hope I got that. But
Yeah.
I assume I don't even know for sure he went to Cabo. I think he went to Cabo. I only know that our man Eric Dickerson was invited down to counsel with him, to sit with him, to help mentor him.
Okay.
And it did happen at a resort about a half hour outside Cabo. Did he spend all 6 weeks there? That's what his camp is saying, but I don't know whether to take that to the bank or not.
So
ask. You need to.
Okay. And he said he didn't want to talk about that.
Okay.
He wasn't going to talk about it.
Yeah.
So now you got nothing to go on because you wanted to find out what he was doing during his conditioning time.
Okay, but why wouldn't you ask obvious, legitimate, relevant questions
Why wouldn't you
about
ask
all
about-
that we've all heard?
Why-
I'm curious what
Why
happened.
wouldn't you ask about Seattle? Why wouldn't you ask about the Dallas Cowboys?
You would get to Seattle, but the first order of business is, hey, how was Cabo? We haven't seen him for 6 weeks.
And he said, I'm here to talk about Seattle. I'm here to talk about the Dallas Cowboys. If you want to talk about my vacation, I'm not here to talk about that. I'm not here to talk about what I did in Cabo. My conditioning is unimportant. Look at the finished product. Clearly, he had been working out. You can tell in his face. He's been working out. So, okay, Skip, you do you. You try to get all the information you can.
But don't blame the media for asking a legitimate question.
I'm not blaming the media. I'm not blaming Zeke for walking away either. So guess what? Zeke, he didn't really want to talk anyway.
Would Shannon Sharpe of the Denver Broncos have walked away from that interview? No. You would have been extremely forthcoming because you knew how to play the game.
But here's the thing, though,
right?
Skip. I wouldn't have been in that situation where you're asking me what I did for 6 weeks during a football season.
No, you would not have. But again, we've been trying to present him as the quote-unquote new Zeke versus the troubled old Zeke, and all of a sudden, that sounded a whole lot like the troubled old Zeke who might have something to hide.
Who
I don't know.
Who is we? He didn't ask you to present him anyway.
Well, that's just how it's come across.
No, that's how you perceived it as coming
That's
across.
actually how Eric Dickerson, our Hall of Famer, right here on Undisputed, started the ball rolling.
Yeah.
Loved what I saw.
Yeah.
I love the physique. I love the new attitude. I think this is a new guy.
Okay.
I'm running with that football.
Run with it.
Okay?
Okay. You can run with that. That was Edie's perception, what he got from Zeke from spending the amount of time.
Okay, but I thought the new Zeke would at least give us a minute,
No,
like just a minute
no.
on, hey, I had a great time and I rededicated to training.
When was
And
the
I don't
last-
know, just
Let me ask you a
something.
question. When was the last time in a crowded place you signed one autograph?
That I signed
Yeah,
autographs?
no, I'm just saying, in a crowded place, you signed one. You know 1 minute leads to 2, 2 minutes lead to 5, 5 leads to 10. You have yet to talk about Seattle and Dallas, but we're talking about what I did in Cabo. That's unimportant.
By the way, nobody asks for autographs anymore. They all want pictures, obviously. But once one starts, you're right, it just becomes a torrent. And I will take every picture wherever you ask. I will take every one as long. And meanwhile, my better half is sitting there saying, I thought we were going to eat dinner together tonight, right? So again, I do it every time.
I have no problem with the media asking. I also have no problem Zeke ending the interview because what he was there to talk about wasn't about the past 6 weeks, how he did it or what he did or where he went. He was there to talk about Seattle. He's there to talk about the Cowboys and what that team needed to do in order to get this victory and keep their playoff.
I get it. That's fine. But don't you see that it was a little startling that the new Zeke wouldn't even touch it?
Yeah, no.
And he acted like it's something to hide. That's how it came across. Like, I'm going to run from this. So the whole interview lasted 1 minute and 10 seconds. All those questions, he probably got peppered with, I didn't count the questions, 5 or 6 questions, minute and 10 seconds, sorry, I'm out.
And guess what?
Really?
Yeah, then what you, and see, here's the thing. Talking about Cabo, talking about anything in the past is not therapy for him. And guess what? You talk about what happened in Cabo, then you're going to want to talk about what led him to go to Cabo. Then you're going to talk about the suspension. Then you're going to talk about, do you think Roger Goodell framed you? Do you understand Jerry Jones? Skip, you know how this thing
I got
works.
that. I don't want to hear about why he went to Cabo, with the reasons for it, just what happened. And yet, I wonder if his camp advised him, don't answer questions about the documentary, the report. He acknowledged there is a documentary.
Correct.
Because you don't want to divulge anything that's in the documentary. You're almost teasing what's inside the documentary, right?
Yes.
You want to protect what you've got down on tape so far, right? That could be part of it.
Yeah.
I don't know. So that leads me to the new Zeke being just like the old Zeke. There's one part of the old Zeke that I loved. And the old Zeke didn't want to talk about anything but the next opponent because the old Zeke always wanted to terrorize the next opponent. So it brings us back to our man Eric Dickerson telling us that Zeke volunteered this bet. He volunteered, I will bet you a game-worn jersey against one of your Hall of Fame game-worn jerseys that I will get 200-plus yards against the Seattle Seahawks. And at that point, when they made the bet, this is going back a week, he had no idea that the Rams and Todd Gurley were going to run over the Seahawks up in Seattle the next week.
Correct.
So he didn't have the 20/20 hindsight of knowing that they're sort of a battered opponent at this point and a troubled opponent, right? So the question is he just so locked in on his 200 yards? If that's what's going on with him, I'm great with it because this is the one guy I don't bet against when he makes a bet like that. Is it likely he's going to get 200? No, because the last time anybody got 200 against the Seattle Seahawks was back in 2009, Frank Gore.
Yeah.
And not one member of this current defense, or the Legion of Boom, was playing on that defense back in 2009.
Did he mean rush yards or scrimmage yards?
I think he meant rush yards. That's what I got.
Yeah.
But that's a good question. I mean, if you can throw the catch yards
Right.
in.
Because here's the thing, Skip. I think what's going to hold him back is that he doesn't have football wind. It's one thing to run on sand on the beach, but you don't have a helmet, you don't have a ball in your arm, and you don't have on shoulder pads. So remember when Le'Veon Bell held out the entire preseason, and then he came in, he got 10 carries. Because they didn't want to overwork him, knowing that he had not been doing football, carrying a football in his arm, having a helmet, shoulder pads on. The one thing you don't want to have happen, Skip, is that you overwork him and he tweaks something.
Okay, but I will remind you that I believe they had about 5 weeks off back at Ohio State before they played a game against St. Nick's defense. Do you remember that?
Yeah, but he was practicing.
Okay.
He ain't practicing.
That's true.
He didn't have on helmet. I guarantee you he didn't have a Dallas Cowboy helmet running on that beach.
By the way, he went for 230 yards against
We're not talking.
Ain't Nick's defense. It was Ain't Nick that day. 230 against Alabama?
And Zeke was a transcendent figure, Skip.
Yeah.
You make it seem like he was a bum. That is Zeke Elliott, led the league in rushing. First team All-Pro last year.
I'm just saying that's what he's made of. And I'm also going to remind you of this. The turning point for the current new Dallas Cowboys came, as I told you, on the first day of Undisputed back in September of a year ago, in that third dress rehearsal preseason game at Seattle. Do you remember this? And I told you I was astounded, number one, by Dak's performance because he got thrown into the fire. Because remember, on about the third play of the game, Tony Romo got his shoulder busted and he was gone.
Yeah, knee in the back.
Knee in the back.
Yeah.
And whatever. It was, he was gone. And in came Dak Prescott against a team that was blitzing like every other down. Like they threw the kitchen sink at the rookie fourth-round pick and tried to annihilate and humiliate him, and they did not succeed. But meanwhile, number 21, the other rookie, is getting handoffs and bursting through the Seattle front, and it was, I forget which carry it was, but he went for 13 yards, and I don't know if we have this, but 13 yards, he looked for, 31. Where's 31 back there? Where's Cam? I want a piece of Cam Chancellor. And he went right at him and ran over him. He ran over him. And the point was, he was saying, I want to go against the best and I want to run over the best. And that's when I told you the first day of the show. I said, I've never seen anything like that.
Right.
One rookie stood the test. The other one looked for trouble. He just went out looking. He said, I want to run over the baddest man in pro football. And that's when I knew this guy is going to be something in pro football. And that's why he made that bet with Eric Dickerson, because he wants to go against what he thought was still the best. Again, he didn't know 42-7 was coming.
Right. The thing for me, Skip, is that I always hated playing a team the following week after they got it handed to them. They got it handed to them at home. 42-7, they gave up 244 rush yards on 43 carries. See, the thing is, the reason why running the football is so debilitating to the defense, Skip, you're moving a man against his will. See, Skip, if I can play fake you. I can do a lot of different things to get the guy. You can blow an assignment. I can fake the ball. I can, bunch formation and get picks. I can get somebody wide open. But when I hand you that football or I toss you that football and these offensive linemen are just imposing their will and there's nothing you can do.
Okay.
That is so demoralizing. I don't know if Zeke has the wind or is in the football shape to get the carries. Now, unless he breaks off an 80-yarder or 70-yarder, then all bets are off. But I believe it's going to take somewhere around 25 to 30 carries to get in football shape and to get 200 rush yards. And I just don't know if he has that type of conditioning right now to go get that done.
And by the way, Todd Gurley wound up with 152 yards rushing last Sunday at Seattle.
Yes.
But 57 of those 152 came on a play with 37 seconds left in the first half, and it was 3rd and 20.
Yeah.
You remember this play?
Yeah.
And he just bolted through the defense. I think they let their guard down a little. It was already 27-0,
Yes.
but I didn't think they thought, he's going to get free.
Because normally keep what they do, Skip. They run the draw, you tackle them, they punt the ball.
That was it.
Oh,
and the half's out.
They're going to run the draw, but you got to tackle it. He ain't going to just go down.
And by the way, when Todd Gurley hit about 6th or 7th gear, that man can fly.
He can run.
Yep.
He can pick him up.
Okay, so back to your point. Bobby Wagner says he now will play. He's been going back and forth with Earl Thomas, but they have now, quote unquote, kissed and made up. They've hugged it out. And KJ Choi missed last game with concussion. Who's that?
KJ Wright.
I'm doing the golfer. KJ Wright is back with off his concussion. And Michael Bennett's still there. Earl Thomas is still there. And Frank Clark's still there, and Jaron Reed's still there. They still got a lot of talent.
Sheldon Richardson.
Yeah, okay. So this was your preseason Super Bowl pick, but you're off the bandwagon? You've given up?
Skip, we're talking about the Cowboys.
Well, I just want to know.
I expect the Cowboys because the offensive line, because here's the thing, the Pro Bowl players the Cowboys have on their football team is in the offensive line. The Rams went to Seattle and dominated the line of scrimmage. Now, they're going to try to do the exact same thing, try to run the football, control the clock, and, take some of that pressure off Dak because we know what happens when they can run the football. Dak is okay. When they can't, when they ask him, say, Dak, go deliver us from evil, he cannot. He will not. Oh, yeah, not Skip.
Interesting.
Yeah, very interesting. So I expect them to try to establish Zeke. Now, as I said before, I don't know if he has the football conditioning to go to get 30 carries for 200-plus yards. But I don't believe it'll be for lack of trying. But Jason Garrett said early in the week, well, he didn't really know how they're going to use Zeke. And then Jerry comes back a day later and says, hey, We're going to do what we always did. We're going to hand him the ball and see what type of workload he can carry.
DeMarcus Lawrence said yesterday he would like to have 80 carries in this game.
Well, see,
with that?
well, the head coach says Zeke is going to have his normal workload. The assistant coach, Jason Garrett, said he didn't really know how he was going to use Zeke. Yeah, since you always try to throw shots at T. Lue.
Yeah, he is the assistant coach.
No, he's not. He's the head coach.
So, a week ago, you bet me a whole case of Diet Mountain Dew that Seattle would beat Dallas at Jerry World.
Yes.
Correct?
Yes.
Are you standing by it?
No, I am not.
Are you believing this?
Yeah, believe
In
it.
my life, I've never welched on one bet. I've never backed
Why are you
off.
scared?
Your boy Grape Juice.
You
I'm
being all-
welching.
you being all scary?
I sure am. Did you see what happened to them in their building? Now, like I said, I hated playing
That's
teams.
not how bets work. You don't get to just back off
You
because
did it.
something
You said it. It's
happened.
your Super Bowl pick, not just to get there, to win the Super Bowl.
As a matter of fact, I was coming into work, I think it was 2 days ago, and this Cowboy fan said his homeboy won't pay him because the game was fixed because that wasn't a first down. And it wasn't. I'm not taking
It was, too.
It was not.
It was. If you look at the replay, it was a terrible spot.
Joy. And the guy folded the thing like this here. He had it like this in the ball.
I don't have an explanation for that. But
Okay,
you can't just decide to not fulfill
I
a
ain't
bet
gonna be able to do
because
that. I ain't
Seattle's
gonna be able
not
to do that.
playing well.
Well, you just told me the most dangerous time to play a really good
Okay,
football
give me
team.
7 points.
I'm not going to give you
Well, the line is
Why?
5.
But you already bet me.
Yeah.
You already
I want the
shook on
points.
it, so
I
to
want the
speak.
points. I want
You
the
want
points.
the points?
Yep.
You already took the bet.
Give me the points.
In fact, you were the one who brought up you
I did.
initiated the bet.
I want the points. I want a tub.
Okay, I'll give you the points that Vegas has.
5.5?
I'll give you, it's 5. Right now it's 5.
Okay.
5?
5 for a case.
Okay, Joy, I want for the record that I amended the bet against my better judgment just to make the bet. Okay?
Yeah.
Because you initiated the bet and then you publicly welched on the bet.
I didn't welch on it.
Yes, you did.
What we did is an addendum.
You
You
renegotiated
amended
the
Yes,
bet?
yeah, we amended the agreement. I need you to initial it too, because I don't want no conspiracy.
Your
from
words
you.
looking a little shaky right
Oh,
now.
word
Okay,
good.
so what does Zeke get? Give me a total, rushing total, not a total yardage total.
I say 90 yards.
90 yards.
Yes.
I'm going to go 120, but I'm on the record as saying the 200, I would never bet against it. If you told me right now you would bet me on 200, I wouldn't bet against it.
I just don't know if he has the win, Skip. I don't know if he can stay in the game and get carry because, okay, you get a 20-yard carry. He's coming off the field, Skip. He's not in that kind of football shape. It takes you a week or two to get into football shape. You mentioned that he went for 240 against St. Nick. They were practicing. It wasn't like Zeke was on vacation for
Well, it
5
looked
weeks
like he
and
was
just showed up.
running sprints on the beach to me, but we couldn't ask him about it because he wouldn't want to talk about
Good.
it. Okay. So, since you brought it up one more time, I'm going to throw this back at you, and you opened this door. I did not.
What?
With Sean Lee, the Dallas Cowboys are 7-1 this year. Without Sean Lee, they are 1-5. With Zeke and Sean Lee, they are 5-1. For the first time in a long, long time, we have Zeke and we have Sean Lee. I'm going to go Dallas 27-17. So I got Dallas by 10.
Okay. I got 5 points. I got Dallas. I'm going to say Dallas wins 27-23.
27-23. So you have put yourself in a position of having to root for and against Dallas at the same time.
Yeah.
Because you want them to win, but not very much.
No, I don't really want them to win, but I got these 5 points to play with. I think they will win. I'm not going to sit up here and say I want them to win. Because you know what? I would like for them to win, because you know why? I want you to go into the last week of the season with hope. I want you to go into with aspiration. I want you to go in there with dreams. And I just want that guy Foles to fold them up.
So I have confidence in my team because I have predicted all along they will win out. They will win all their remaining games.
Well, if Philly wins this game Sunday, they might have everything sold up.
I've been telling you that, but you said, "Oh no."
Well, hey,
they'll just do it for pride.
no. We're not going to risk injury because we're so close. We can smell Minnesota from where we're standing in Philly. So no, we're not going to risk anything. We're going to take care of business Monday night because they already got at worst case scenario, they're going to be the number 2 seed. Now, if Minnesota loses, that means we will be the number 1 seed, so we won't play anybody.
I'm going to remind you that the Seattle Seahawks that you left in the dust, you jumped completely off their bandwagon, they have a 14% chance of making the playoffs, while my Cowboys have only a 6% chance. So I'm sticking with my Cowboys. You have leaped off the bandwagon and discarded and betrayed your Seahawks.
Because here's the thing, Skip. The Seattle doesn't need 2 teams. You guys need Atlanta. Y'all need like 2 teams to lose their last 2 games. Y'all need Detroit
and I told
to
you
lose.
yesterday, stranger things have happened. And if, by chance, my Cowboys just slip in the back door of the playoffs, they will win the NFC and get to the Super Bowl. They will be the most dangerous team in the playoffs.
Doors
and
closed.
you know it, and I know
Doors
it.
closed.
You know it.
It's going to be good luck. Good luck without
Nobody would want to play
Good
Dallas.
luck without Tyron Smith.
Yeah.
You know what happened
Could
last
be a
time
loss.
y'all played without him?
Sounds like he's not going to play. Yeah.
Claiborne made $1.5 million.
Yeah.
He bought the guy. As a matter of fact, I heard he shipped him a truck.
Do you want to change the bet?
Shipped him a wrap.
Want to change the bet?
Nope.
Dallas needs to win out. They need the Lions to lose once and the Panthers, Falcons, or Saints to lose twice.
Ain't gonna happen.
But all they can do is control their own destiny. Just get
Carolina
Sunday.
take care of business on Sunday. Atlanta win the last
know
one.
who you're
Atlanta.
rooting
I can't
for.
believe you would welch on a bet.
Yeah.
I didn't welch. I made the bet.
No, you welched.
I just amended it.
Officially welched.
I amended it.
Nope.
And you initialed it.
You said Seattle would win, and you have flipped around.
They are
to
gonna win.
Seattle. You
With the
just
fi-
you did not.
With the 5 points
you just picked Dallas.
With the 5 points you gave me, the score would be 28-27.
If you had any guts, you just pick
I got
Seattle
no
straight
guts.
up.
I'm a computer, got no guts.
No mercy.
According to the Boston Globe, Bill Belichick revoked some of the privileges of Tom Brady's trainer and business partner, Alex Guerrero, weeks ago. Guerrero is no longer allowed to travel on the team plane or have access to the sideline like he could before. Earlier this week, the 40-year-old Brady credited him as a huge reason as why he's still playing. Yesterday, Belichick was asked about the situation. Let's take a listen.
Would you say that Tom's relationship with his trainer is like if your adult son or child is hanging out with somebody you didn't really care for all that much? I mean, if your adult child, what are you supposed to say?
I'm not really sure what the question. I mean, you're talking about my children. I don't really think that's appropriate here. Like, I'm trying to coach a football team. Like, what are we talking about here?
I just meant, is it something that kind of frustrates you because it takes the focus off of him taking coaching from you?
Again, there's a lot of pronouns there. Like, I don't really know who's talking about what. Sorry.
Shannon, what do you make of all this?
I'm confused a little bit too, Coach Belichick. Would you say, Coach Belichick, this situation is like your adult son's kids, your grandkids, hanging out on the sideline? Is he trying to compare the relationship with Tom Brady and his trainer as like father to son or grandkids to granddad? I'm confused too. But I think what happened, Skip, obviously Tom Brady has a lot of cachet in this organization, and rightfully so. We all know that coaches treat all players fair, but they don't treat them all the same. Tom Brady has earned privileges that other players just don't deserve or not going to get. And his trainer having access to the sideline, being on the team plane, I think he has an office at the team facility.
At the stadium.
At the stadium.
Yeah.
So I get all that. And Coach Belichick probably took Tom Brady's word at it. You know, hey, Coach, he's really helped me a lot. All this going on, I'm playing so well, blah, blah, blah. And Coach Belichick, sure. But when this Boston Globe story came out, that this basically a snake oil salesman, or he's a quack. And
that was the Boston Magazine.
back in the, yeah. But I'm saying when this story came out, Coach Belichick's like, hold on. I don't really need any distraction because if something comes out that this guy is peddling something that he shouldn't be, Skip, guess who that's going to fall back on? Coach Belichick. Coach Belichick, you have control over everything. Nothing comes in or out without your blessing. And you mean to tell me this was going on and you didn't know anything about it? Coach Belichick said, you know what? Let me go ahead and remove this out of here. Tom, hey, now guys, there were some players on the team that was going to see him in his office at the stadium. Coach Belichick said, not on my dime. If you want to go see him, you go off premises to see him. I have no problem with Coach Belichick because nothing good can come of this. Now, a lot of people are going to look at it, maybe this is a split or a rift between Coach Belichick and Tom Brady, but at the end of the day, while he might show special privileges towards Tom Brady, His obligation is to do what's in the best interest of this football team moving forward. And this could end bad. And if something comes out about this doctor, Skip, it's going to fall back on Coach Belichick, because if he didn't know, he should have known. That's the way it's going to be portrayed.
Okay. I do not pretend to know anything inside on this. I only know what I read in the Boston Magazine piece, which was 2 years ago, about Alex Guerrero, and the recent Boston Globe piece, which refers to something, a change that happened several weeks back. So this happened back that his privileges weren't revoked, they were just scaled back. Okay, because he keeps his office now, still goes to his office in Gillette.
But he can't do anything about that. That's Mr. Kraft premises. He can't tell the man you can't move to the office, but I can tell you ain't going to have your butt around here.
One of the reporters tweeted yesterday, I think, that they have seen Alex Guerrero in the locker room this week a couple of times. So he's still around in the TB12 Center, the Brady Center, that he sort of runs for Tom. Alex Guerrero is just like a 5-minute drive from Gillette.
Right.
So back to the Boston Magazine piece. It took Alex Guerrero apart.
Yes.
And it revealed him to be what it called a glorified snake oil salesman. And it pointed out that he was somehow peddling this thing called Supreme Green. I don't know anything about it, but purportedly through an infomercial, he was presenting himself as a doctor, a medical doctor, which he is not.
Yeah, he's the same doctor as Dr. J.
Yeah, okay.
Just the name only.
Trust me, I'm a doctor.
And he claimed in the infomercial that whatever Supreme Green is could save lives of terminally ill patients. Couldn't back that up.
No.
And so the FTC then fined him $65,000 for that claim and said, you can never do this again, and you can never call yourself publicly a doctor again. Now, he says he's a doctor of sort of Far Eastern medicine, and Tom Brady has bought into his philosophies.
Right.
And he does have something else that he markets called NeuroSafe that he contends can help you alleviate potential concussions. And Tom Brady believes in it. The FTC says it can find no scientific data to support it. Whatever. I don't know. Brady believes in it, and it's not illegal. It's not against NFL rules. So let's be clear about one thing. Alex Guerrero is not Victor Conte running Balco for Barry Bonds with a trainer named Greg Anderson who actually went to jail to defend Barry Bonds, right?
Yep.
And we're not talking about supplying Tom Brady with illegal PEDs, right? So just to be clear, I don't know anything about that.
Well, Coach Belichick doesn't want that to come out later that might have happened.
Okay, I got you. But now Alex Guerrero is starting to advise a lot of the other Patriots, starting with Rob Gronkowski.
Right.
So because he was on the sideline and on the team plane, he's starting to counsel and you know, so he's handling lots of players.
Yes.
And the training staff, I'm sure, is outraged over
course.
this because they don't believe in it.
Because they're medical. They went to school to do this, and here's the guy just claiming.
And they're probably conventional, and he is way new school.
Correct.
He is new age,
Yeah.
okay? But Tom Brady will defend him vehemently and has done so publicly, his quote-unquote quackery, and Brady went off on his radio appearance that he does every week. This is going back 2 years ago after the Boston Magazine piece, and Brady went off on, well, what about Coca-Cola and Frosted Flakes? They can be poison to kids. How can we promote those in society? That's just Tom's philosophy that is in line with Alex Guerrero's. So the point is that because more and more players are going to Alex Guerrero, that all of a sudden, I think Belichick, through his training staff, said, that's just enough of this. So if Rob Gronkowski wants to be treated by Alex Guerrero, he has to go to the TB12 Center, which is, again, it's like a 5-minute drive from Gillette.
Right.
Okay, so is this the end of the world? Is this Brady versus Belichick? I don't think so yet. But again, I'm just going off what I read, right?
No, I mean, Skip, this not says, okay, we're going to scale it back. They said revoke. Revoke means you're not going to be on the sidelines. You're not going to be on the team.
But again, according to what one reporter tweeted, he's still seen in the locker room during the week before maybe after a practice.
We'll
I
see.
don't know.
We'll see. I'm sure Coach Belichick is going to slowly but surely. He didn't want to take, because Tom, obviously, it's Tom's guy. Tom believes in him, and you don't want to get Tom upset in the middle of it. But as soon as the season's over with.
All I know is when it comes to medicine, whether he knows or doesn't know what he's talking about, if you believe with all your heart and soul, it'll work.
That's it.
Yeah.
That's it. No question about it. That's all that matters.
Well, he has been pretty healthy since then.
I'd say.
He's won 2 championships since then. He is the greatest quarterback that's ever played in the NFL.
And people are looking. People are going to get suspicious, Skip, for the simple fact they're like, Barry Bonds, you should not be getting better as you age.
I don't want to put it in that category. I'm just saying what Skip said. Whatever you believe in works for you, works for you. And he's the best. So
when was the last time we saw a 39 or 40-year-old play as well as Tom Brady?
I'm not saying that. What it sounds like is the team doctors are upset that there's somebody else probably overruling them.
Yep.
There was a clash inside the organization, and Bill Belichick doesn't tolerate distractions. That's what it sounds like.
Right.
No mercy. The Lakers pulled off a huge upset on the road against the Rockets last night, ending their 14-game winning streak. Houston has the best record in the NBA, and James Harden scored 51 points. But the Lakers rookie stole the show in a big way. Lonzo Ball had 16 points and 9 rebounds. But the other rookie, Kyle Kuzma, took the game over with a career-high 38 points, including 7 three-pointers. So, Shannon, how impressive are the Lakers?
This was very impressive. This might be the most impressive win by any team this season. To do what they did, Skip, we know what the Rockets represent. They've been flying high. They had the best record in the NBA. James Harden is an MVP, strong. He's probably leading. If they were to vote today, he'd probably win the award.
Probably.
He went for 51 last night. I don't know, how did he get to the line so much? That's another story.
He got 3 calls on 3-point shots that I said, stop it.
I know the Corey Brewer one, he touched him. And they still gave it to him, the continuation. But anyway, Skip, every run that the Rockets had, the Lakers snuffed it out. And with a young team, that's impressive. This will do great things for their confidence because Luke Walton can say, look here, guys, when we play the right way, we can beat any team in basketball. We're a young team. We just went a team that had a, 14-game winning streak? We went into their house and beat them. Skip, now, the problem for the Lakers moving forward, they're the worst free throw shooting team in the NBA. Skip, this game shouldn't even been that close. They missed 16 free throws. 16! Well, the game wouldn't even been that close. Now, Brandon Ingram got a little, you could say, palms got a little sweaty, Skip, because he threw it away and they took it from him again. Like, whoa, what's going on here? I thought they were going to give it away. But I told you, I love this Kyle Kuzma kid. Watching him in the, I know the G League, the Summer League game, Skip, I know you like when
Not
you love
the G League, the Summer
League.
Yeah.
I know you said you like Lonzo, and Lonzo did some great things. I said, but Skip, I like this kid here.
Well, Lonzo was only the MVP, but go ahead.
Yeah, but
No, I know. We all said
Lonzo
it.
ain't
I
had
said it too.
Lonzo ain't had a game like this, though.
No.
No.
Not a shooting game.
No. Lonzo had put all his games, his best shooting games together. Ain't doing this right here. But that's neither here nor there, Skip. I'm trying to give the guys credit. I love what they got 42 points from the bench. Larry Nance is the energizer bunny for them, Skip, because he's a guy, he's an energy guy. Put back, ask Kevin Durant. Still looking for him. I ain't telling where Larry Nance was because I know the police going to pick him up for what he did to KD the other night, Skip. You know he's still in trouble. Set hard picks for you, get rebounds. He's going to run the floor. If you mulling around, he's the guy that's going to ignite the crowd because you know why? He's going to catch a putback, stuff at home, or he's going to dunk on somebody. Now he gets the crowd right back in the game. I love what I saw from the Lakers last night, Skip. This is unbelievable to do what they did and in the fashion that they did it. They got off to a great start. Three three-pointers in a row, 9-0. You know the Rockets going to make their run. But when the Rockets took a 1-point lead, bam, 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 it's back up to 5. The second half, the Rockets get a lead, bam, 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 it's back up to 9. This Laker team would not go away. This was the most impressive win that anybody's had all season. To do what this young team did in that building, or a team that has a 14-game winning streak, that's very, very impressive. And even your boy Lonzo Ball chipped in. He didn't shoot the ball well, but I thought this game would help him because the Rockets want to get up and down. That left Lonzo Ball no choice but to get up and down. So that he had to speed up because they were speeding up. But give them credit, man. Kyle Kuzma, I like him. He look good in the wine and gold.
So, just for the record, the 14-game winning streak by the Houston Rockets was the most dominating stretch in the NBA on point differential since the 04-05 San Antonio Spurs. That's how high this team was flying when the Lakers did that to them without the Lakers, without two of their starters. No KCP, no Brook Lopez last night.
Well, Brook Lopez is not,
Okay.
don't mention
Right.
him. KCP, I
but
give
he
you
is
that.
7 feet tall, and he does
Nothing.
have some offensive skills. He
Skills.
does.
Dude
well,
averages like 5
starts.
points a game.
Okay. But he wasn't there last night. Maybe it was a good thing. I don't know. But to your point, how they survived missing 16 free throws, I don't know. How they survive dead last in the NBA in shooting free throws, I'm not sure. And by the way, if LeBron does choose to go to L.A., he would fit right in with the Lakers on shooting free throws because they're shooting his career average. They're 69% from the line. He could just fit right in.
Skip, this is not about LeBron. And stop trying to take shots at your man.
It's a fact. We've talked about it.
And he's shooting 78% right now.
I know he is. He's been hot. You know,
he ain't been hot. That's on LeBron that I know.
That ain't going to last.
It's going to be an 80.
But speaking of, I told you so, before the year started, I told you I thought this Laker team could make the 8th spot and be in the playoffs. Right now, this Laker team sits only 3 games out of the playoffs, and this team has blown at least 3 games it flat out should have won. New Orleans and Toronto at home, and twice this team has taken the Golden State Warriors to overtime. So if I give them just one of those two, one of them, you know, maybe they're just hanging right in there. There have been some crashes and burns, Memphis, Clippers, a few other teams you could say, Utah's struggling. But this team is only going to get better and better. And a lot of it has to do with the point and the counterpoint. The antithesis of Lonzo Ball is Kyle Kuzma, because Kyle Kuzma has never seen a shot he won't shoot.
Nope.
And it's the flip side of Lonzo, so maybe they're going to be great bookends going forward into the future, because Kyle Kuzma averages 1 assist a game, because if you pass it to him, he's probably going to shoot it.
He ain't passing it back.
He ain't passing it back. And guess what? There's a pretty good chance it's going to go in, because this guy is in relentless attack mode with as high a rookie confidence as I have ever seen. And this kid is he not the steal of the draft?
Oh, yeah.
Because Donovan Mitchell has been really good for Utah. Utah's struggling as a team, but that was the 13th pick. Kyle Kuzma was the 27th pick. You don't think they just stole him? Because he looks like he's got star quality, right?
Yeah.
Doesn't
He's
play,
not odd anybody, Skip.
Okay, doesn't play any defense. He's not going to pass the ball. But again, just as a shooter and a scorer, whew, man, first half, he set the tone, obviously, by making 6 out of 6 threes, 9 out of 9 shots.
Yeah, his asset, Skips, are more of an, what he does really well is more of an asset than his defense is a liability, because he can light you up. Now, I'm not saying he's going to get 38, but I can see him as a legit 20-point-a-night scorer.
So can I. And what I wish I could do is whatever's running through him, I wish I could bottle it and I could get Lonzo just to take 1 sip of it before every game. Because did you see this little courtside interview that Kyle Kuzma gave right after the game? I don't know if we have that. Could we see that, please?
Last thing for you, Kyle, 38 tonight, as I mentioned. Did you expect this from yourself as a rookie this fast? Did you expect to be able to have games like this?
Yeah.
No problem?
Yeah, no problem,
Appreciate it, man.
Yep.
That's it. That's all I want to hear. Yeah, I did. Score 38, did you expect that?
Well, you Skip, you remember now, he said, don't compare me to other rookies. Compare me to LeBron and KD, because that's where I want to be. I ain't talking about no rookies.
Wow.
He has supreme, and at this level, obviously all guys have confidence, but there's varying degrees of confidence. He has the utmost confidence in his ability that he can compete at a very high level, and it's no surprise to him. And I believe him, Skip. I believe that he expected to play this well. Now, I'm not saying he's going to go out and get you 38 every night, but he believed that if he plays his game, he can go get numbers. He can go get buckets, and he can, because he can shoot it. And guess what? People are going to start flying at him to close him out, Skip, and he's going to put the ball on the floor and go right to the hoop, because he's good enough to do that also. So I'm telling you, while we're looking at Lonzo Ball, and he rightfully so, Skip, he might be the guy. But right now, and I said this, right now Kyle Kuzma might be the second best player on that team behind Ingram.
So speaking of my guy, Lonzo Ball, this is my take. Another tantalizing but ultimately frustrating night from Lonzo, because I saw flashes of genius. I saw flashes of brilliance. I saw transcendent flashes, but I didn't see it enough because I also saw long periods of disengagement, and I don't get it. And if you can explain it to me, you're way better than I am. But I saw a stat that Kevin Arnovitz had on ESPN.com yesterday that of all the point guards in the league, the one who has given up the ball fastest after passing half court is Lonzo Ball, and meaning he's either shot it or passed it, okay? It's like 2 seconds he's given the ball up on an average of 2 seconds. Well, how many times last night did he nonchalantly dribble the ball up? And you said he was in a run and gun game. I didn't see that much of that. There were flashes of it.
Yeah, he got to the basket a couple of times.
Okay. All right, but what he does is it's like he toys with the game. Not until Houston started really making a run in the third quarter where it started to seesaw back and forth with the lead changes.
Right.
Lonzo finally said, you know what? I think I'm going to play now. And all of a sudden, he nails another three, and then he hit a 2-point jump shot, and he got to the rim, and he made 4 free throws, and in a stretch, I'm not going to say he dominated the game, but he did whatever he had to do to reset the momentum in his team's favor.
Right.
And by the way, with 1 minute and 50 seconds left in the third quarter, James Harden tried to outslick the kid, and guess what happened? Could we please see that in the middle of the lane?
When he backed him down?
Yeah. Oh, he's got him. Oh, I'm going to go up and under. And that wasn't just a block. He made him eat it. How many times do you see James Harden get blocked like that?
I'm surprised they didn't call a foul.
Why?
Because they always call a foul with James Harden.
That's true.
He shot 21 of them last night, Skip.
Look at that. I could watch that all night long.
Poor LeBron can't even sing Christmas cookies and get a foul call, Joy.
Just remember, Lonzo is a long 6 feet 7 inches tall, and he has great anticipation, and he's disruptive on defense. He's stealing the ball. He's batting passes up.
Okay, let's not make it seem like James Harden got David Thompson jumping ability, okay, Skip?
Okay, but he's so slick.
He is now.
He can just snake in the lane, and he gets you off your feet, and he gets you out of rhythm, and he fools just about anybody who tries to cover him, especially once he gets you in the lane like that. So he thought, I'll get him off his feet and go up and under, and all of a sudden he says, I think I better just go ahead and try to go up and shoot this, and he ate it.
Yeah.
Okay, that's a flash of what this kid can be. So guess what? Lonzo Ball, once again, led the Lakers in rebounds. He and Larry Nance Jr. had 9 rebounds. Lonzo, through, what's he played now, 27 games, I guess it is? Yeah, 27 games? 29 games. He still leads the whole team in rebounds by 16. Well,
and you talking about Brooke Lopez was out of the game.
Okay,
Good.
well, I'm just saying, don't you take that to your bank a little bit? Like that's pretty special stuff.
But when you look at it, Skip, I mean, Larry Nance, they switched him because he was starting, and then they inserted Kyle Kuzma into the starting lineup. But they don't play the minutes that Lonzo played. Do I see Lonzo probably leading this team in rebounds? Yeah, because I mean Brandon Ingram, Skip, he got to put some bricks in his pockets.
No, I got it.
Good.
But you want to talk about last year soft, this year attack mode?
Yeah.
I mean, he just goes relentlessly to the glass every time.
And maybe that's just his personality, Skip. Maybe we're looking for Russell Westbrook fire. Brandon Ingram is never going to display that. Now, he might just have that tenacity inside, but he's never going to have that ferocity, that outward appearance of ferocity that we want him to show. But, Skip, he's got to get some weight, Skip. He's got to, man. I mean, he's just too small at that height because he has skills. But I love Kyle Kuzma. And I said this before. I thought he was the better. I thought this year he would definitely be better because he can shoot the ball. He's a big Skip. And when you can shoot it, and then when they start trying to close you out, you can put it on the floor and get to the hoop. Yeah. I mean, he looked good coming off the bench if Braun were to go there. But right now, we haven't made a decision on what we're going to do next year.
Okay.
We'll get back to you.
Going forward, I love the yin and the yang for the future of Lonzo and Kyle Kuzma. And again, back to Kevin Arnovitz, what a really interesting piece about Lonzo yesterday. I didn't love the conclusion, but his last line was, the next jersey up in the Laker rafters won't belong to Lonzo Ball, but will owe its presence to him. Right. Meaning, let's just say, I know I'm really projecting, it could be Kyle Kuzma because of Lonzo making him the best he can be. And last night, there were 4 times when Lonzo hit teammates with passes they weren't quite ready for in the lane. And if they don't cash, he doesn't get an assist. His assists were pretty low. He only had 4 last night.
You know what? But the Lakers, with that tradition, when you get your number hung up in those rafters, that means something. Because you just ain't just like, well, he had, he was on a championship team and he played okay. And okay ain't good enough for those.
They're about to win a couple championships.
A couple.
Yeah. No mercy. LaVar Ball's new business plan is to start a basketball league for high school graduates who want to follow in LiAngelo and LaMelo's footsteps and skip college. LaVar envisions a 10-team league that will play in NBA arenas across the country and plans to pay these players up to $10,000 a month. Here's what LaVar said about the league. Getting these players is going to be easy. This is giving guys a chance to get a jump start in their career, to be seen by pro scouts, and we're going to pay them because someone has to pay these kids. Those kids who are one and done, they shouldn't be there with the NCAA trying to hold them hostage. So our guy isn't going to go to Florida State for a year. He's going to come to our league. Shannon, do you give this league any shot?
Oh, my goodness. I think in theory, it's a great idea, because we realize that the NCAA is making tons and tons of money. We see them give huge buyouts, $10 million, $12 million. Coaches can go whenever they want to. They can leave, got 5 years left. They can pick up and leave with no penalty. They don't have to sit out. So we understand that it's slanted in favor of the NCAA. LaVar is very anti-establishment. He's always going to go against the norm. But LaVar is all about LaVar. Once LaVar can no longer control the situation, that's when LaVar will act. He couldn't control the situation in high school. I'm gonna homeschool Melo. He couldn't control the length of the suspension at UCLA. I'm taking Jello out of that. I'm gonna put him in a situation where I can control the environment. Now the G League already exists, Skip.
Yep.
So you 18 years old, as opposed to being 19 you got to be at least 19 to go into the NBA draft. But if you want to come right out of high school and go to the G League, you can do that. You make 19 to 26,000 plus benefits and housing. Not a bad deal. He's gonna play $3,000 to $4,000 a month. But for some kids that want to be one and done, their dream is to play at Kansas, Duke, Kentucky, North Carolina, not play in your crappy league. Now I wish you the best. I hope it's a success. Now good luck trying to get NBA. Good luck trying to get NBA scouts to come see your guys, LaVar.
Well, if he got enough of them, I think they would come watch.
Skip. If look, who knows? They might be taking a pay cut from going to the one and done where they was normally going to go.
Yeah.
So I wish him the best. I'm all for anybody that's going to try to do something, although it hasn't been done. Hey, people didn't think Google was going to work. They said Steve Jobs, rest his soul, crazy coming up with the Macintosh. Oh, guess what? My grandfather said, boy, the only thing worse than failure is not trying. Try it. Don't worth thinking, hey, what if it is a success? Then he's a genius. If it doesn't, he won't be the first guy that came up with an idea that wasn't successful. So I got no problem with it. If he wants to do it, so be it. But I just don't. For me, if he had thought about this, Skip, prior to all this happening, I got no problem with it. If while Melo is at high school and Jello's at UCLA and he's trying to formulate a plan, I got no problem with it. It wasn't until he could no longer control the situation that he started coming up with these ideas that he can control.
That's true.
So that's what it appears to me. But I wish him the best.
So do I. So, 2 LaVar Balls have slowly revealed themselves over the last 6-8 months. One is LaVar the father, and one is LaVar the businessman. And unfortunately, of late, the businessman started to take over for the father.
Right.
But I have constantly on this show lauded and applauded the father, LaVar Ball, for at least being there for all 3 of his sons, when many fathers have not been there. And I'm talking about fathers of all colors. And in this case, maybe to a fault he's been there, but the father has started to step out of bounds to me and started to alienated me as to be a fan and supporter of his because of the enormous target he continued to paint on the back of Lonzo Ball that he had to bear up under in ways no rookie in any sport ever has had to for these first 30-odd games since he's played as a Laker. And I despise the way that he said that he's already better than Steph Curry, and then he took on Luke Walton publicly and criticized him, and he even started criticizing some of Lonzo's Lakers teammates. And I do not like the message he sent. I'm not trying to parent for him, but I don't like the message he sent to the second 2 sons by basically telling them, if we don't like the coach, we'll take our ball, so to speak, and we'll just go home.
Yep.
So I'm going to yank the youngest out of high school because I don't like that new coach. I don't like what he said about me, and I'm going to yank the second kid, the middle kid, out of UCLA because I don't like the way Steve Alford treated him after he clearly shoplifted in China.
Right.
Bad messages to me, but that's his business. Now, here's the businessman emerging. I got to tell you, I have nothing but respect for the businessman.
Yes.
He's got guts. He's fearless. He's got vision. And I got to tell you, I respect the fact that he is taking on the mostly white establishment in the sneaker world or the NCAA world. I like it.
Right.
Because he's calling them out, man. You can't do that to me. I'm going to fight you on this with the sneakers and the rules. And the rules are, to me, unconstitutional. I don't know how. I just don't like it. I don't know how you could continue to say you have to go play 1 year of college before we will even look at you in the NBA. Really?
And the NBA is like, well, some of these guys are not prepared. Okay, you don't have to draft them.
No, you don't.
They say I'm eligible to be drafted. Doesn't mean you have to take them. Don't take them.
And they say, well, there are a lot of big failures. Well, that's America.
Yeah.
You can try, you can fail, but you have to give everybody the chance to try.
There are a lot of failures at law, a lot of failures at doctors, a lot of engineers. So professional athletes are not the only ones that fail, although we like to make people think that only professional athletes are the ones that don't enjoy success.
So I think in the biggest picture, LaVar is positioning himself with LiAngelo, the second son, to be able to sue the NCAA if, in fact, LiAngelo wants to go back to school someplace and the NCAA says, nope, you can't come back because you're a pro now. You took money for this and that.
Right.
You went to Europe and took money, whatever it might be. And he's going to say, that's unconstitutional. I sue you. So that could be operating in the biggest picture.
Well, he got a shoe deal too, Skip.
Okay. Well, I'm just saying, but you could say that's not America. That's not the way our Constitution should work. So now back to the smaller picture. Could he make this league work? Just in concept? Yeah. I think there are lots of kids who get forced to go to college for 1 year who don't really want to go. That, like you say, Duke or, to be in Durham, North Carolina or wherever. They just don't really want to. They have to.
Well, go to the G League.
Okay. Well, okay, but this could be more fun where you're with kids of your own ilk, and it's like an extension of AAU. And LaVar is godlike. We keep having one commentator after another come in and remind us that the balls have become godlike in the basketball world. Mm-hmm. Even the second two sons are already, the kids are just in awe of them.
Yeah, but Skip, here's the thing. If I got to go, so here's the thing. If I got to go 1 year anyway, am I going 1 year to North Carolina Duke or am I going 1 year with him? Those are my choices.
I don't know if he could get the top
exactly,
kids, but he might be able to get that second echelon. Mm-hmm. And then with people, because you're going to have to charge admission, because that's the only way LaVar is going to be able to pay him whatever he said, $10,000.
$3,000 to $10,000.
Okay, whatever. Okay, could you? And he said he wants to play in NBA arenas. Well, if the NBA won't allow you to play in the NBA, I don't know if he would let these teams, the ball teams, come and play in their arenas.
No.
And by the way, how many people would fill a 20,000 seat arena to see a bunch of kids?
Family and friends.
Maybe. I don't know, but again, every business venture of his, I've just learned not to bet against it. I think he's going to win on the business front. Is it going to be at the expense of his kids? Maybe. It just might.
Hey, those are his kids. He's raised them this far, so good, bad, or indifferent. Hey, whatever you think the best is for your kids. I ain't telling nobody how to parent their kids.
I'm with you on that, but I just grip my teeth when I see what he has done to Lonzo. Now, his point on Lonzo is you have to push those buttons in this kid. I know how to push the buttons. Well, man.
What do you think about the targets he's painting on these two kids' back? Oh, your dad thought y'all was so much better than us that y'all couldn't even play with us. No. Y'all went overseas. Y'all pros already. Okay, let me see.
All right.
But Skip, here's the thing. Melo's still 3 years away. Melo's 16. So he can't come to the NBA. So he got to stay somewhere or go somewhere for 3 years before he even think about entering the NBA draft.
Agree.
Everyone always thinks you're crazy until you succeed, and then you're a genius. Mm-hmm. So
I wish him the best.
Why not try? We've been complaining and talking about and mulling over how to fix the situation with the NCAA and kids for decades. Now someone has an idea, and everyone wants to talk about how kids need to go and get an education. You can always go back to school. You cannot always play basketball.
Yeah.
There are some logistics that go into this,
I think LeBron doing okay. I think KD and them doing okay.
Well, I mean, we're talking about legendary superstars that are
But hold on. Every lawyer, every person that goes to Harvard Law School or med school ain't Dr. Frank Jobe.
Right.
ain't Dr. James Andrews.
Right.
So,
but the difference is you're talking about your physical body.
Yeah.
You don't have forever to play basketball. If you want to maximize it as soon as you can, school's in it for everybody. You can always go back to school.
I just think if you're 18 and you think you're ready, skip. I can go apply for a job, but if they don't hire me, okay, they don't hire me. You didn't have to take an 18-year-old.
And for that matter, everybody who leaves high school doesn't go to college. There are trades. People are entrepreneurs. People go into family business. There's no set rule for how you have to handle your life.
College is not for everybody.
Oh, I agree, which is why the NFL rule outrages me even more, because they're making you go 3 years instead of just 1.
It's a free tryout for the NFL.
18-year-old body ready for the NFL regular though.
Maybe a running back.
Maybe not.
No mercy.
Is Floyd Mayweather headed to the octagon? We saw Mayweather's mega hyped fight against Conor McGregor back in August in the boxing ring, but according to Dana White, Floyd could switch up sports. Yesterday, Dana said, "We're talking to Floyd about doing a UFC deal. It's real." He was talking about boxing Conor McGregor. Was that real? Have you heard Floyd talk about many things that aren't real? He usually tips his hand when he's in the media, and then that bleep ends up happening. We're interested in doing something with Floyd. Everything is a realistic possibility. Mayweather versus McGregor bleeping happens. Anything is possible. Floyd responded saying, "I never said I was going to fight in the UFC. Exactly what I said is this. If I made $1 billion before, I could do it again. If I chose to get in the UFC and fight 3 fights or fight 4 fights and then fight Conor McGregor, I could make $1 billion, which I can. I can do it in 3 fights or even 4 fights. I can make $1 billion if I choose to get in the octagon and fight." Ooh, Shannon, could you ever see this happening?
No. Who waits until they're 40 to pick up this sport and says, "I'm going to do it professionally"?
Floyd?
Skip, first of all, his hands are brittle. He's not going to get it, Skip. First of all, he couldn't make $1 billion unless it's for 1 fight. Because after that first fight, ain't nobody going to want to see the next fight. Because remember Ronda Rousey, as long as she was indestructible, Skip, selling out everything. Okay, when Holly Holmes kicked her upside her head, they're like, okay, that's a one-off. But then Amanda Nunes ran through her. They're like, nah, we done. That's what would happen. And at least Ronda Rousey had fighting combat skill where she was flipping and arm barring and leg locking somebody. Skip, all the thing he's ever done was put these upside somebody's head. They throw elbows, they throw knees, they do back fists, they do hammer fists, they arm bar, they choke you. Skip, I would have a better chance in the UFC than Floyd Mayweather would. Floyd wants no part of that octagon because, see, in the ring, Skip, they let you in. You walk in, you can walk out. In the octagon, they close that door behind you. They have to come drag you up out of there. Because they already know they got to close you in because some people would run up out of there. That fire get hot. Floyd don't want any part of this, Skip. It sounded good. Maybe Dana, hopefully he comes on here next week because he got to pay off a little something. Okay, you got Conor who hadn't fought in over a year. They're searching for who can generate a buzz, Skip, because Conor can. Now, people want to see Conor fight somebody in the UFC. Maybe he fights Nate Diaz again for the 3rd time. Maybe there's somebody in his weight in the flyweight class that he can fight. But right now, Skip, they're searching for stars, and they don't really have any because Ronda's gone now. Think about it. She's trying to get in the WWE, Skip, but that thing's scripted. She ain't want no more of them fists upside her head. She ain't want no more roundhouse kicks. And you think Floyd gonna do this at 40? He'll be 41 in February. And the first thing that you're gonna do combat. Hey, you see people run triathlons, but they're not trying to win, Skip. This here for real. This is a contact sport. Now, Floyd, you made $1 billion trying to avoid being hit. If you get your butt in that UFC, what you try to tell me, you didn't avoid as many hits as I think. Because you must be out your mind. I know you want him to.
All I've ever seen from Floyd Mayweather Jr. is flick and run, flick and run, flick and run, run.
That ain't what he did to Conor.
Well, it was.
No, it
It was. And to that point, could I see Floyd in a 3-fight deal in the octagon taking on the UFC equivalent of tomato cans, just up-and-comers that you've never heard of?
They beat him.
They would not, because Floyd is so quick on his feet, he is so skilled defensively, that if he could stay on his feet and just basically run circles around the up-and-comer, he could survive. Where he couldn't survive is if he got hit at all or got taken down.
5-minute rounds.
I know,
5.
but it's only 3 5-minute. They seem to last forever, but.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And what happens, Skip, when they get him down? How does he get up? He don't know how to get out of it.
That's what I'm saying. If you get him down, he's done.
Yeah. Skip, he's never been kicked. They gonna kick him on them little legs.
Now you're calling them little legs. I called them little legs before McGregor, and you're saying, that's offensive.
It'll be like
so
me.
now you're acknowledging he has skinny little legs
Yes.
and brittle hands.
Yeah.
That's all I said for like a whole month before McGregor Mayweather. And you said, how dare you?
That would be.
And now you're laughing at your own guy.
That would be like me walking up to a piano and just kicking one of the legs out from under because you already know what's gonna happen. It's go Skip. You know good. You know what, Skip? You know what? He might can make a lot of money because you know why people would buy it? They want to see him get his butt kicked. People want to see Floyd Mayweather lose. They don't care whether he lose a gambling bet, whether he lose in the UFC or boxing. They just want to see him lose. So he might could sell a first fight because everybody's praying to God Floyd get the crap beat up out of him. But that'd be it.
Okay, well, there's one more way Floyd Mayweather Jr., nicknamed himself Money, could make, what, $100 million.
Yeah.
And that is if he fought Conor McGregor in the octagon.
Skip, why you want that to happen?
Because turnabout is fair play.
That's what you...
He had the guts to go in his ring, so he should have the guts to return the favor and come into his octagon.
That was Conor McGregor doing all that talking. Floyd didn't go seeking Conor. Conor kept running his gums about what he could do to Floyd. Little head, little legs, little torso. That little head, that little torso, put them things on him. I told you.
He didn't put nothing on him. And I'm going to remind everybody who had an objective view of the fight what happened. In the 9th round, in the opening minute,
hit him low.
Conor McGregor had Floyd in trouble. The ring announcer or the television announcer is screaming, he's in trouble.
Yeah,
he's in trouble. And then all of a sudden the referee, Robert Byrd, how did you do this? He saved Floyd.
No, he didn't save
He
him.
said it was a low blow, and I couldn't see any low blow. I saw nothing.
Conor McGregor hit Floyd Mayweather
He
flush
did not.
with an uppercut in the early rounds. It knocked out Aldo. It knocked out every fighter. You heard Dana White. He was on this side right here. My guy's a knockout artist. He talks about he bounced heads off canvas. He put his hand in the gloves. He's like, Dana, he doesn't know. I said, yeah, you're right. I said, Floyd done set that trap. Started out with 10-ounce gloves, and Conor thought he was saying something. We fight in 8-ounce gloves. Walked it right into that skill. See, that's how I do you. I lay these leaves over here.
You do not. This is how Floyd Mayweather survived that night against McGregor. The referee turned the fight around. He goes and pulls Conor off Floyd in the corner and pulls him to the middle of the ring.
Yeah, on the
and
back.
Says, reset, because it was a low blow. He said low blow.
Yeah, but how many times
low
he hit
blow. Where?
How many times he hit hit Floyd behind the head with them rabbit
Well, that wasn't what that was about.
No, hammer fist in the guy.
Yeah.
But I told you we're gonna walk him down. I'm mad at Floyd because he didn't end it like I said he would.
You're ignoring I told you what happened. He pulls Conor off him because Floyd was in trouble.
Well,
he pulls him in the middle of the ring and says, reset, start over. And from that moment, the momentum shifted back to Floyd. And guess what happened in the 10th round? Conor told you after the fight. He ran out of gas because he did not train to go the distance. You're talking about Zeke. It's hard to train for football when you're not actually playing football. It's hard to box for 10, 11 rounds going toward the 11th round, but it was late in the 10th round it got stopped. You just run out of gas. You can't approximate it.
Hey, I tried to tell you that. Couldn't even throw a punch. I mean, Robert Byrd had to pull Floyd off him.
He did at that point.
And Conor talking about he should kept continue to fight, let him fight.
He should have fought.
No, Conor had nothing, Skip. I didn't want the man to get hurt.
Oh, please.
Just a little
Floyd's
bit.
never hurt anybody.
He hurt him.
Oh, he did.
He could have. I mean, he was on the side. I just said, and another.
What? Are you kidding me? But Conor McGregor did like 2 straight hours of interviews after that fight, and he was like,
Joey,
having a party.
He did it like this here. Yeah, the back.
You know what? I don't remember a mark on his face.
Yeah, you do, Skip. Don't do that.
I don't remember anything.
Walked it up. Born in 54. Died in 63. He had him on the ropes in 9. He had him in the ropes. But they just said, you know what? I'll let him go one more. Get the people what they want. They started chanting, money, 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 money.
So why doesn't money, even at 40 years of age, Conor hadn't fought in forever, and from all the accounts and reports, he's just gone completely over the edge like he hit the lottery.
He
Like
did.
He's not in shape. Let's just do it maybe a couple of months from now.
No.
Just do it in the octagon.
No.
Turnabout is fair play.
No, Skip. Let Conor fight somebody that's MMA, and Floyd is happily retired. I saw Floyd sitting courtside at the Lakers game. Him and his lady had that Birkin, that Hermes bag, Joy. You saw that? That Himalayan, that Croc bag, about $150K.
He can afford it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He can afford a bunch of them.
Yeah.
He been flying overseas. I saw him in Thailand. I follow him on Instagram. Had a big old bale of money. You know, Floyd got so much money, they weigh it.
Yeah,
it takes you too long to count.
Nobody has enough money ever. You know,
Yeah,
Rockefeller, that's the famous quote.
Bezos.
Never had enough money. So $100 million. This I would buy. This I would watch. This
Because you
world
want to see him
would
lose.
But everybody would buy this.
No,
this
because
would be
they want
$100 million fight. They might make more off this fight than the
Because they want
boxing
to
match.
see Floyd lose. They want to see Conor punish him like Floyd did him.
Okay, well, so why not a rematch in the octagon?
Skip, the man's 50-0. He's the greatest. Hey, 50-0. Nobody has ever been 50-0 and retired. But somebody tasted defeat.
But think how he could cement his legacy.
It's
if he
already
said,
cemented.
I'll take that man into his world and I'll beat him at his own game.
Conor can fight Tyron Woodley, or he can fight Mighty Mouse or somebody. We ain't fooling with him. We good. We retired. We go overseas. Floyd go to Kabul all the time. South of France. I saw him in Thailand riding the elephant.
If Floyd Mayweather is the greatest defensive fighter ever, and I believe he is, he'd be just
in
fine.
boxing.
He'd be fine in the octagon.
No, you ain't gonna be no fine.
Why not?
Because they do other things than box. They leg kick, they Muay Thai, they take you down, they choke you out, jiu-jitsu. They do all that.
He's got skinny little legs, but he's got quick feet.
And if somebody
you can also duck and dodge.
Haven't you seen
You
it?
can run.
Skip, you've seen people kick people on their leg and break their leg.
So,
Can you imagine? Floyd is not, and those guys are used to taking leg strikes. Floyd has never taken a leg strike. Nobody's ever kicked Floyd.
So why he could just learn how to duck and dodge that?
No, you can't
He
duck
could
and
avoid that just as well as he could the punches. Yeah, he could.
Skip.
Hey,
because Floyd
just keep moving.
Because here's the thing. See, when you do this to try to protect yourself, then the guy's gonna shoot you, take you down, and just ground and pound Floyd. Floyd, you got the name pretty. You go in that UFC, you're gonna be ugly boy Mayweather because somebody gonna lump your butt up.
Yeah, but a kick you can just avoid it.
You can't avoid it.
And if you kick and miss, you're vulnerable.
You know what?
And you can rat-a-tat-tat.
You know who avoid kicks? Guys that's been avoiding kicks for a long time. That's why Conor couldn't avoid them punches, because he ain't used to throwing punches in combinations like Floyd hit it with a left, with a right.
Mosquito bite
Oh,
punches.
and guess what, Skip? They kill more people than anything. More people than drunk drivers, more people than traffic fatalities. Oh, little old mosquito, Joy, because he had malaria in them things. Wop, 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 wop.
Yeah.
Dana White gonna be sitting right there. Bring that tequila on to me, Dana.
Yeah.
And he got me some 250-year-old hen dog.
You know, Floyd would earn my respect.
No, you don't want your
Ultimately, he
respect.
would earn my respect.
You don't want.
No mercy. Thanks for listening to the Undisputed Podcast. I'm Joy Taylor. Undisputed will be back tomorrow morning at the same time, 9:30 Eastern. Be sure to check it out.
Fox Sports 1 of 1.